So, what do I think about Starlink? Well, I'll tell you. Hello again, Skip, Victor Echo 6, Bravo, Golf Tango. First off, I've got to tell you a bit of a story. What made me decide to go to Starlink. For quite a few years here, I've been using what's called a smart hub. This is a ZTE thing. And it's a wireless router thing. It works with the local telephone company cell site for internet connection. I've used a smart hub for a couple of years now. Actually, this is the second one. And it was mediocre. I got by, though, and I went to extremes. I put an external Yagi antenna up on the roof. I ran 7/8 heliacs down the tower into the side of the building, into this one little entryway, and then finally over to the one room where the desk was situated, where the smart hub was going to be sitting. It took a lot of work. I really put out trying to get this stiff old cable into this little area, and it did help, but only on the downlink side, only for downloading data from the cell site. Most of the time using this smart hub, if I was lucky, my download speed would be 20 megabytes per second. That would be extreme, sometimes 25. It was the upload that was killing me. It averaged an area of like 0.3 or 0.4 megabits per second, and very seldom ever got one. Uploading videos on YouTube was a killer. A half-hour video would take anywhere from 3 to 4, even 5 hours to upload, and it was brutal. We had just gotten a smart TV, and we started to watch Netflix and things like that, and well, you can just imagine what was happening. So messages like this would show up that I knew that I had a problem. Something had to be done. Now, to be fair to the phone company, it wasn't all their fault. I live in a poor location for using a cell site. So not only is a smart hub inside the building, there's no windows, so I'm trying to work with a microwave signal coming to two sets of walls and then going through all these trees. And, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But I'll tell you this, I know in the wintertime it worked a lot better. So the leaves were definitely affecting things. The telephone company went out of their way. They came out and, for free, installed a new smart hub that had an external antenna. I'm assuming some kind of a powered device up in that tower. And we tried different cell towers. There's one to the north of me, which is a lot farther away. I'm still looking through a lot of trees, but it really did help. It helped the smart hub work a little bit better on the download, but as for upload, now it went from like 0.4 to maybe 1 at the best of times. The other thing against me was where the cell tower is. It's to the west of me, and over this ridge, I just could see the very top of the tower if it was on the roof of my house. My neighbor, he's about 100 feet higher than I am, he has great service. So, again, location. So I went online and I ordered it. I thought I was going to get the Generation 3, but for some reason it's not available in Canada. I prefer the Generation 2 anyways because it's got the motorized antenna. It took about a week to get it. I ordered it online. I also ordered the pipe adapter because I knew I was going to have to put this thing probably up on the roof or somewhere. It just came in a cardboard box, but it just seemed to be well packed, and I survived the trip here all the way from, I think it was Nevada. So with a new toy, of course, you want to get it out and play with it, so I just plunked it on top of my workmate in the middle of my driveway, surrounded by trees. The router I just had on the front deck. It's just a single cable that plugs into both units, hooks them together, and I plugged it in the wall. I wish I would have had the camera set up, because as soon as I plugged it in, this thing swung around, pointed south, and tipped a little bit and stopped. And by the time I got my smartphone connected to the Wi-Fi so I could log into it, the darn thing had connected to a satellite already, and one of the first messages I got was, "Welcome to Starlink, here's your first bill." Time was marching on, and I didn't want to leave this thing in the middle of the driveway, so I figured I'd better put it up on the roof line. I knew it wasn't a great spot because the house was going to block a good part of the sky view of it all. But it was a good test, so I got the ladder out and I just plunked her on top of the roof. I first just put some weight on it, and I figured that'd be good enough, but I got a little nervous because it's going to be a few days probably, so I sunk a couple of screws into the holes that are on the tripod or four-legged stand itself. So I got holes drilled in the wall, and I got the cable that connects the dish. I'm not going to call it a dish. It's not a dish. It's the antenna to the router, which now is on the same table as the old TELUS one was, and got things put together, and I was just tickled pink. It worked so well. Once I got it all going in the house, I turned on this other feature that's in the app. It shows the dish scrolling in a 360-degree pattern, and it's mapping the sky to show you what's a clear view and what's obstructions and so on and so on. And I think it says it takes like 12 hours to give you a complete picture. But anyways, you can see on the north side where my house is blocking it, and the red dots, I believe, are probably trees. So I saw what it was going to work like on this porch roof. I was not hoping it worked there, but getting too much obstructions. So I had a cunning plan to get this thing above the roof line at least. So I was back out to the old shop and build some kind of a bracket for my cunning plan. I got a few lengths of aluminum pipe laying around. I had one that was just perfect, actually. I thought it could have been longer, but I think it'll work. Anyways, built this bracket, and off the roof of the deck or the porch there, I was able to reach up to this lower log of the house itself and bolt it onto that. Their pipe adapter was a horrendous fit. I don't know, they must think you're going to use a 4-inch pipe or something. And I had to weld up some shims at the top for it to fit. The idea was to have it on a bracket that I could slide down and work on the antenna if need be or whatever, but I couldn't reach it anyway, so I just take the U-bolts right off and tip it off if I need to. The idea was to get it above the roof line at least, and it would clear the trees a little bit better. I was pleasantly surprised to see that when I did the obstruction survey again, that a lot of the obstructions in the trees had disappeared. I still have a bit of a, we'll say the southern range, southern view is been chopped off. It's from all the trees that are over there, but all in all, it's a pretty good view, I think, and it still works good. The only real problem I had was getting it to work through this old Netgear firewall switch router thing. This has a router built in it, but I need this switch just to give me more jacks in the ham shack. Our smart TV works into it through 5 gig Wi-Fi, or 5G Wi-Fi I mean, but I still needed this, and it was all in the network settings, and I'm not very good at it, but with technical support from Surrey, BC, thanks Dave, it finally started working, and we're off to the races. Okay, up to now I've been going on and on how nice it was to hook up and get going, but anyways, here's the proof of the pudding. It works through the Wi-Fi quite well, and it is a bit slower, but through the wired connection into my computer here in the shack, and even if my old Netgear router is choking it back a bit, I got lots of good speed now. Okay, I will admit this is not as good as what you might get on fiber in town or the cities, but from out here in the rural where I'm in this hole that I can't seem to get a signal anywhere else, this is a huge improvement for me. Way better than the usual 0.4 I was getting from the old phone line or cell site smart hub. Big improvement. I've actually seen this upload speed actually get as high as 40, even 50 one time, but that wasn't when I was going through the Netgear router, so I might have to do something about that yet. And how does it work for uploading to YouTube? Oh boy, I tell you what a difference. This video here, this cover shot is the one I did this morning, and wow. It would normally take me 4 to 5 hours to upload this. I usually would just go to bed, leave it run all night, and then wake up in the morning and finish it. This time, 43 minutes. I was just beside myself. This is another neat feature in the app. This network statistics. The line at the bottom there in green, that's the upload time. I don't think you can see the time, so I wrote in there anyways. Upload started at 9:30, and then went through the middle shot, and then on the far right is when it stopped at 10:13. And the blue line above it is the download, and at that time we were watching other YouTube channels at the same time on the TV. Could never do that before, so yeah, you can tell I'm happy. So what do I think? I think you probably can figure that out by now. I think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Sure, it's a little bit more money. I canceled a few other things we don't watch anymore, and really it's not costing me any more money than it did before. If you're in town and you got access to high-speed fiber or something like that, of course that's the way to go. But out here in the country, in the rural areas and poor location like I got, it's the only way to do it. So once again, 73s from Skip, Victor Echo 6, Bravo, Golf Tango.